guys, so today I'm here with the Borla Stinger S-Type axle back exhaust with black tips, fitting all 2018 and up JL Wranglers with the 3.6-liter V6 engine. So this is going to be for those JL owners looking to get a deeper exhaust note out of their V6 in comparison to the factory one, while also getting rid of that unattractive muffler that's mounted up to the back of your JL. So this axle back by Borla is going to do just that, while also increasing a little bit of performance, getting rid of all of that restriction, opening up that airflow with the straight through style exhaust, while not giving you really any drone inside of the cab area or any raspiness out of the exhaust note. So I'm going to have to rate this a 3 out of 5 on the loudness meter, giving it a really nice middle ground. So this is going to be roughly $650, which is pricey for an axle back. However, Borla does make quality products, so that price point is not really surprising. This is going to have a very unique style muffler to it. It's got that straight flow muffler, but what is different than a lot of other products on the page is that it has a single exit split exhaust. A lot of other options are just dual exhaust with baffled mufflers. However, this is going to be a lot different, giving it a very unique exhaust note. So I definitely think it fits well with being that middle ground. So as far as install goes, it's going to be a 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter. You're going to need a couple of basic hand tools to get the job done, and there is no cutting or welding involved since it is an axle back. So speaking of the install, let's jump into that now. The tools that I used for my install were an impact wrench, a dead blow, an exhaust hanger removal tool, a 10-inch extension, 13mm ratcheting wrench, 13mm swivel socket, a 15mm deep socket, and a lubricant. So first thing we need to do is get our Jeep up in the air. So on the back of the JL, there's not a lot of room to work with as far as taking the exhaust off of the rubber part of the hanger goes. So what I like to do, and it's pretty non-traditional, is to actually just to remove the whole hanger. It's being held on by 2 13mm bolts, and that seems to be a lot easier than trying to argue with space up around our big muffler here. So I'm going to take a 13mm swivel socket as well as an extension. You can also just use a regular socket and an extension, and we're going to remove the top 13mm bolt on our hanger. Then we can remove the 13mm bolt on the side and fully remove each hanger. I'm just going to take my 13mm swivel, go above the sway bar. So I'm going to use a 13mm ratcheting wrench to remove the side 13mm bolt. So this won't actually fall off once we remove this bolt. It is slid into a piece into the frame, so you don't have to worry about that. So we can just repeat this process on the other side. They're going to be in the same location. As you can tell, there's not a lot of room up here with the actual rubber part of the hanger, so getting an exhaust hanger tool up here is not exactly the easiest thing, especially with trying to position it and grab it at the same time. Definitely easier to take off the hangers. And then we can reinstall the hangers after to make sure that they're already on our Jeep while we bolt up our no exhaust. Now I'm going to take a 15mm deep socket and loosen up our clamp that connects our axle back to our cat back piping. So once that's loose, we'll be able to wiggle our axle back off. So we do have to unhook our hangers. They are on a tab on our frame, as you can tell. After they're unhooked, they'll just plop down. So now what we can do is wiggle this off. I'm actually just stabilizing this on our rear track bar here. And should shimmy off. You may need a little bit of lubricant. I use a little bit of PB Blaster. So we do need to reuse our hangers for our Borla exhaust. So I'm just going to take our exhaust hanger tool and remove it from our muffler here, it's a lot easier once it's off the Jeep. Like I said, there's not a lot of room, and these aren't the easiest to work with. However, once it's off the Jeep, it's really easy to remove. So it just depends if you want to take that extra step to relieve a headache or trying to finagle this behind your muffler, and it makes it a lot easier. And it does make it a lot easier to put a penetrator on there, maybe a PB Laster or a WD-40, just a little bit of lubricant, and these will slide off like cake. So before I go ahead and bolt up our new exhaust, I did want to sit it next to our factory exhaust and show you a little couple of differences and similarities that you may see between the two. Now, first off, you can tell that the muffler size has went down dramatically. This is a big and bulky and baffled muffler, and this one by Borla is going to be a lot smaller, as well as a straight through style. So this is going to be a lot deeper of an exhaust note, give you a throatier note out of your Wrangler that you may be looking for. Now, what I also do really like about this is it's not the standard dual exhaust. You have a single exit here, very similar to your factory exhaust. However, this is going to have a dual tip. You can see it here. It's not your traditional dual exhaust. What that's going to do is create a deeper exhaust note for you. A lot of other options that are for dual exhaust have a larger style muffler, similar to this, usually a lot smaller. However, those are going to be a little bit more baffled than this straight through style option. So this is going to give you a louder exhaust note, and you guys will hear that in just a minute. What I do also like about this, first off, it's different. It also has this satin black powder coat finish on it. That's going to protect the 300 series stainless steel underneath. It's going to last a very long time, and I also really like the tip size on this. This is going to be a 3.5-inch tip. It's not large, it's not obnoxious, but it is larger and more attractive than your factory exhaust, giving you a very sleek look out of the rear of your Wrangler. This is going to bolt up exactly the same. This is going to come with a new exhaust clamp, and everything is going to be CNC machined, so it is a perfect fit. So speaking of that, let's go ahead and bolt this up to our Wrangler. So before we go ahead and bolt up our new exhaust, we do need to reinstall our factory exhaust hangers, and they are going to be site specific, so you really can't mess it up. So what you're going to do is hook this little tab into there, and that should line everything up. Then we can reinstall our factory bolts. So now we can go ahead and tighten this down with the same tools that we used to take them off. I'm going to use a 13mm ratcheting wrench. You could also use a socket and a ratchet. Then we can take our 13mm swivel socket and our impact. Go ahead and tighten down this top one. Now we can just repeat that process on the other side. Now we can go ahead and attach our axle back. Now we are going to try to wiggle it onto our catback piping first, and then we'll be able to wiggle it into our hangers. So what I'm going to do is try to get this in our hanger right here. You may have to use a little bit of lubricant in order to do so. So now that our axle back piping is connected to our catback piping and it's sitting in the correct place, we're going to move this clamp a little bit forward, make sure that it's on the cut out part on our flange here. Then we can tighten it down with our 15mm deep socket and our impact. Right, after that's tight, then you're all set to go. So that's gonna wrap it up for my review and install. Make sure you like and subscribe, and for more videos like this, keep it right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.